Let's make some noise. Come on.
That's right, Nick Foles. Let's make some noise. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Final Word here on the Instagram Sports Network. With your boy, MattyB, on the call, and it's great to be back. Night 2. Wow, man, we're 2 for 2. Got to keep that going, and we will tomorrow. But then it's going to fall. It's going to fall hard. Are there concerns? Is the title of the show, and I'm going to get into why I titled it that, and one of our top talking points of the night. But of course, the Phillies just keep winning, baby. Win, baby, win. Tonight they came from behind in a game where they were not behind to begin with, but they kept fighting back, giving up the lead, fighting back, giving up the lead, and then they found their way to a victory late and got the win. 5 in a row now. 2 games over 500. Andrew Painter tonight pitched well. Not good. Still having some control issues, but he pitched well. I never like it when a pitcher coughs up a 2-run lead. I just don't like that. I don't care if it's early in the game or whatever. 2 runs. 2 runs is a lot, man. But I get the context of it. It was early, but you get staked out to a 2-run lead. I want to see you milk that thing a little bit longer than he did. Was it an inning? So, but it's optimistic with Andrew Painter tonight. Optimistic as he's now pitched in 2 quality starts back-to-back. And I'll take that. The bats for the Phillies kept rolling tonight. Again, another multiple home run night for the Phillies. This night it was, Stott and who got the other one? Yeah, Stott and Bohm went yard for the Phillies. But they were able to mix in the other type of baseball as well. Some sac flies. Matter of fact, then they get back-to-back runs on back-to-back sac flies. And all's well that ends well. 16-4 now for Don Mattingly as the manager. 20 games. Can't shake a stick at that. What's going on, Elephant? How are you tonight? Good game, but home run need to stop. You know, you're right. You're absolutely right, Star Wars. But let me kind of add on to my H word thing. As I said, I'm not going to say that. Bohm is on fire. Yeah. Here's the thing. If they can find a way to marry up both sides of baseball in the same game consistently. Now, 0 for 3 tonight with runners in scoring position. They don't count sacrifice flies as scoring a runner from scoring somebody in position. But if they can marry both sides of the baseball ball together, long ball, small ball, this offense, there's really no offense like it in Major League Baseball. The problem is we never get it working on both sides. It's always one side working, the other side's not working. And tonight, and actually over the past 5 games, it's been a good combination. They've been mixing it up pretty good. If there was a negative to talk about tonight, it was the bullpen. The bullpen that had maybe too much time on their hands lately. A lot of time to sit back there and reflect on life in the bullpen as the Philly pitchers were giving them pretty lockdown performances over the course of the past few games. But Cardiac Keller, man, he got rocked, and so did Alvarado. Somebody find that man some steroids. I need the steroid Alvarado back. I don't care. They can catch him. They'll ban him for the whole season. I don't really care. It'll take him a good 3/4 of the season to catch him again. But if there was anything to kind of get a little bit of like, and that would be your bullpen. They didn't really do their job as well as they should have done it. But all's good. Phillies win 5-4. And are now 2 games over 500. It's great to say that. Who would have thunk it, man? 3 weeks ago when we were stuck in hell at 9-19. Phillies are now 13-4 for the month of May. They turned April around too. They finished April at 10-16, which is actually the best case scenario for them. It's been good to see. Honestly, it has been. Donnie B, yep, he is 16-4. And all is doing well in the world. But in another Phillies-related topic, we had some roster moves today. Roster moves. Felix Reyes, thank God, sent back down to Lehigh Valley. Whew. And I was getting a little concerned that they would never send him back. But he went back down to Lehigh, and in his return, here comes Otto Kemp. Otto Kemp making his return to the Phillies. Got to start in left field. Not only did they bring him back, and listen, I agree. He needs to play every day. There's no sense in this. Don said at the beginning of during the pregame press conference that he gave, press availability, that, these young kids need to play every day. I could not agree more with that statement. So, I mean, what is it, like the odd man out guy that has to go up to Major League Baseball and sit and not play and get all out of like rhythm? I mean, is that something that we're gonna? Why can't somebody come up here and play, and then play? Why do we have to have a turnstile of players come up here, play a little bit, go back down? Another guy comes up, sort of does that again. I don't like that. I don't like that process, man. If you're gonna bring Kemp back here, which again, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but he's got to play every day. You got to find a way to get him out there every day. And now that Alec Boehm's starting to swing a mean bat, I don't know if you're going to be able to do that, but maybe he's your, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what you do with Otto Kemp. This is where not having a professional bench guy really hurts us. The Greg Grosses of the world. I know they don't exist so much anymore, but those kind of guys. A guy that, a professional pinch hitter. A guy that made his living coming in the ninth inning and getting on base somehow. That's really hurt the Phillies. We don't have one of those guys. And I don't like this process of we're going to pluck somebody hot out of minor league baseball, let them cool down up here, and then pluck the next hot guy out and then move the other guy back down. I don't like that, man. That's like messing with my emotions here, man. I don't know if that's healthy. But Otto Kemp is back, and he got in and he started tonight, as I said, and he did absolutely nothing offensively, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. His batting average is now less than 100. It's down to 91. And in another related roster move, Gage Wood. You guys remember that name, right? Down there in low A ball. Well, he got promoted today, but not to high A. No. He's heading up to Reading to double A. Gage Wood, didn't pass go, doesn't collect the $100, and goes right up to Reading. Why? Why, oh, why would you do that? Why? What is going on with that? Why the accelerated growth chart for Gage Wood? And we're going to get into that tonight as well. Eagles are back on the, if you guys want to continue talking about the schedule, I'm more than able to. If you want to get into that, I'll definitely do that. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Because I'll play it for you, man. I thought you would have. You weren't around. Have you seen it? I will play it again. If you've seen it, you do know the context, right? It's an honor. I'm honoring you. But I'll play it, Al. Just say the word, and I'll play it so you can see it in its entirety. But Gage Wood, coming on up to Reading. But why? And Eagles schedule. If you guys want to get back into that, we can. So full night on the show and the of the night segment. No card again tonight. Sorry. I haven't done a card in a while. I'll do one tomorrow, I promise. But putting Kemp in left. Yeah, I know he didn't play left field in Lehigh. No, he didn't. I remember what that was like earlier this year. But listen, at this point with Otto Kemp, if you're going to bring him up, then play him. Play him every day. I don't know how you're going to do that, but you got to play him every day. Should have been Brian De La Cruz because he doesn't need at bats. De La Cruz is what he is. I could not agree more with this statement. Again, it goes in line with that professional pinch hitter that doesn't exist anymore. I guess the closest we have in our system is Brian De La Cruz. And why not him? I agree. I absolutely agree with that elephant. And listen, I'm not advocating to keep Felix Reyes up here. He didn't belong here in the first place. But, this revolving door of we're going to play guys until they are no longer serviceable, and then we're going to, we're going to send them back down. I just don't like that. I don't like that. Seeing Crawford get a hit against the lefty. There was a guy in this chat. I don't know if it was this show or if it was the Fight's Final. Albert Albertson. You guys remember that name? He had a raccoon picture on his little profile thing there. He tried to tell me that Justin Crawford will never make it in the major leagues because he doesn't hit the ball in the air. I haven't seen that guy in months. Where is he at? I'd like to talk to him. Heading to Reading. Yes, he is. Gage Wood is on his way to Reading. And we're going to get into the implications and why you might think that's happening. Why not Jersey Shore? I know if I was Gage Wood, on a personal note, and I knew the next stop in the system was the Jersey Shore as we're approaching Memorial Day weekend, as we're approaching summer, and you tell me, oh, by the way, you're going to skip that. We're going to send you to Reading, Pennsylvania. What? So you're telling me I don't get a chance to go hang out because I think what? Lakewood's up there near Seaside? Point Pleasant. I had some fun up there. So you're telling me I'm 21 years old, 22 years old, and I had a chance to go to the Jersey Shore for the summer of 2026, and you're going to send me to Reading instead? Come on, man. I got my priorities in life. So I don't know. I don't know how MattyB would be very upset, honestly. Honestly, I'd be very upset. I have not. Okay, so Al has not seen it. I know some of you have seen this before, but I'm going to play it for Al because I got to. Again, this is an homage to Al's Excuse Emporium. You guys know about Big Al's Excuse Emporium, correct? It's the little thing we started about 2 years ago because Al, one night after doing a Fight's Final, I heard him wax poetic about the Phillies' problems and their struggles is because they missed their mommies. And that they've been traveling around the world and sleeping in hotel rooms and not having their comfort numbered bed with them or something like that. Or I don't know what the hell he was going off about. But in response to that, I came up with Big Al's Excuse Emporium. And it's grown since then. This is like literally be 2 years next month. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. So I had an opportunity and the mood struck me to create a commercial. It's not really a commercial. It's a song. It's just a song. It's not really a commercial, but to honor Al and all the good folks down there at the Emporium and all the good hard work they do for me and all the business that I send them. Don't forget, this is a symbiotic relationship. It's like the shark and that little fish that sucks itself to the side of it and eats up all the scraps that come off of it. That's kind of how we are with the It's a Rap Sports Network and the Big Al's Excuse Emporium. I don't know who the shark is in that relationship, but so I created this for them people, for those hardworking people at Big Al's Excuse Emporium. So here we go. Without further ado, for those of you who did not see it, I'll play it again. And for Al, this is for you especially. For those of you that have seen it, you get to see it again. So here you go. Here's It's a Rap Sports Network tribute to Big Al's Excuse Emporium.
Live from South Philly, where every loss has a reason, every collapse has an explanation, and every quarterback is still elite. Welcome to Big Al's Excuse Emporium on the It's a Rap Sports Network. Woo! Sunday meltdown, phones blowing up, birds lose again, but they still show love. Too much snow, refs were bad, coordinator change made the whole team sad. 3 and out, but they scream relax. Defense cook, man, just watch the stats. Quarterback misses wide open throws, bro, he's top 5. Everybody knows green Kool-Aid overflowing tonight. Every excuse ready, left and right. No accountability in sight. Just turn the mic up loud. Welcome to Big Al's Excuse Emporium, where the blame gets flipped around. If the season crashes, burning down, they'll still defend the hometown. Big Al's Excuse Emporium, fresh excuses every week. Need more weapons, need more luck. Next year's excuses? We don't do that here. Need another reason? Aisle 5. Quarterback debate? Aisle 6. Blame the weather? Aisle 7. Coaching staff collab special? 2, 4, 1. Welcome to Big Al's Excuse Emporium on the It's a Rap Sports Network show, where every bad throw gets defended and the standards stay real low. Big Al's Excuse Emporium. South Philly's loudest sound. If the team keeps falling apart, we'll still say, run it back. Next round. You've been listening to Big Al's Excuse Emporium. Only on the It's a Rap Sports Network, where excuses are always in stock.
So there you go. That's a catchy jingle. Again, it's in homage to Big Al and the good people down there at the Excuse Emporium. That was, listen, no, man, I got my own house band now. I hired them over the weekend. It's been churning out songs. I put on, actually, there's a couple that are really out there. I'm not even going to get into them tonight. I've been, dude, you're misunderstanding it, man. I this is in homage to you and all the great work you do, not only for me here, but down at the Excuse Emporium. Oh man. Again, as I said it last night, if you can't laugh at somebody, then what can you do? But Nola's situation is why I fed. Yeah, and we're going to get into that, Al. I think that might have a lot to do with it. There's some people out there that are not saying that, but I think we're smart enough to look between the lines on this. Big arm college kid who might have started in AA if he was built up. I disagree. You know what? I can probably count on my one hand how many times you would take a kid out of college. There's such a low bar to that. The pro game and the college game are so totally different. I don't care how big their arm is. Now, Paul Skeens, that's sort of like the outliner here. And even he started out for 1 year down in low ball before they shot his ass up the following year. There's such a high bar with pro ball, and there's so many more in between the line type stuff happening in pro ball. I don't necessarily agree with this. I think they should be pulling him up along the way every stop where he needs to go. If he dominates at the high A level, then move him on 2 weeks later. Give him 2 or 3 starts in Jersey and then move him up to Reading and then go from there. Because this to me is more than that. We're not stupid fans, Elephant. You know that. You watch this team probably more than I do. We can read the friggin' tea leaves here, right? Come on. It's a diddly. What's the diddly? A musical brochure. Yeah, okay, that's what we'll call it, a musical brochure. AI and Al are the same. Dude, again, I don't want your full venom of retribution on me here, man. This was something done in love, man. Come on. You do great work, and I just wanted to show honor. I wanted to honor that with a song. I wrote a song about me and Howard Eskin too. I did that. I wrote about that. I also wrote about the unique fans of Philadelphia. I've done a few. I think I played the one song last night. Listen, man, it's all done with love. College ball is a part of it. I don't know about that. I don't know, man. A+. So you're telling me college baseball, Division 1, we're talking Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, JUCO, NAIA, NJCAA. What level of college are you talking about? Now, granted, Gage Wood was D1, played for Arkansas, went to the College World Series, but I'm going to go out and tell you that that's not the case. Okay, for somebody who's been on the field for all that kind of stuff, NCAA, and below. I don't think so. I personally don't think so. But no, I'm not going to buy that because no, I'm just not going to buy that. So the D1, NCAA D1, I still ain't going to buy that. It's not on, maybe it's on par with low A, but not on par with high A. It's not. I disagree. But we can agree to disagree, Elephant. And again, I think there's more to this than because he's got a big arm. I 100% believe that there's something more to this. And we'll get into that. But all right, let's get into the show. But before we do, let's remind the folks, this is what's coming up on the network this week. Yeah, the Fightins Final and me tonight. Tomorrow, you're going to have the Gridiron Weekly Fightins Final, and I'll be back for my final show of the week. Yeah, that's it. No more final words after tomorrow. Wednesday, I got post game, so I won't be. Even though it's an afternoon game, it's still I won't be able to do. I'm not going to come on right after that. So it'll be the Pittsburgh Sports Desk and me on the Fightins Final. Then Thursday, a big day for me on the network is I'll be here at 4:00 with Kyle and the Birds Blast, and then later on Thursday night, the Flyers season in review show, Clear the Ice style with Mike Lauro. The Philly Friday Frenzy and the Fightins Final on Friday, the best of, and Phillies Guardians on Saturday, and we do it all over again on Sunday. So there you have everything that's coming up this week on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Please make sure you're telling a friend and help us grow this thing as we get more and more. I mean, I'm picking up some traction out there, which songs like Big Al's Excuse Emporium are going to help me out immensely. Again, you're doing me a service here. But let's start the show tonight as we do every night with our day in Philadelphia sports history. We got to go back to the year 1912. That's it, baby. 1912. And again, no, I was not here. I was not there. I did not witness this firsthand, but this was a unique one. This is really cool, actually. So here we go. I want to set the stage for you. It's 1912 in Philadelphia. Again, for those of you that don't know what that looks like, and I am one of those people who do not know what that looked like. 8 lucky Philadelphians on this day were picked to take the field as members of the Detroit Tigers for a single game against the reigning world champion Philadelphia Athletics. The Tigers regulars refused to play. They straight out said, we're not playing in this game to protest of teammate Ty Cobb's indefinite suspension from Major League Baseball. He had stormed the stands a few days earlier and beat a fan nearly to death. The hell, man. So he was indefinitely suspended from Major League Baseball, but his teammates rallied around Ty Cobb and said, nope, we ain't taking the field, God damn it. We're going to stand in solidarity because that fan had it coming. Oh, my God, man. I really wish I lived back then. I honestly do. I think that's the era I was supposed to be in. Facing a heavy fine if it had failed to field a team, Detroit, with the help of A's skipper Connie Mack, selected 8 local athletes to dress in Tigers uniforms, but not to play. The idea was never for them to actually play. It was just for them to get on the field, show Major League Baseball that we have a team, but we're going to forfeit. That was what the plan was. They were never supposed to play. But then Connie Mack, took advantage of a good situation. Mack reneged on the deal to allow the Tigers to simply forfeit and made Detroit play the game. Local gangster boxer Billy Morag played third base, and St. Joe's Jr. Alan Traverse pitched, allowing 26 hits and every run of the A's 24-2 rout of the replacement Tigers. So not only, I mean, this is some backhanded stuff here, man. Yeah, we'll help you out. We understand. We don't want you to get fined. So you just pick 8 people, go on the field, and we'll just let you forfeit. Nope. Connie Mack said, nope. I changed my mind. We're going to play. I mean, again, this is where I was supposed to be. Why am I in this era? I'm supposed to be there. So I guess Alan Travers, the junior at St. Joe's, was actually a priest. So he is the only priest to have ever pitched in the big leagues. And he still holds the record to this day for the most runs surrendered in a single 9-inning game at 26. That is the funniest moment in Philadelphia sports history that I remember ever reading about or listening to. So there you go. Connie Mack, man. A man among scholars. And Ty Cobb. Listen, Ty Cobb's got a reputation of being a douche. I mean, let's face it, no one liked him. And but apparently his teammates did. But I guess anytime anybody had a chance to stick it to Ty Cobb and the Tigers, they took their opportunity. And Connie Mack did so on this day, 1912. Oh, man, I would have loved to have been there. I would have loved to have seen that. Can you imagine something like that happening today? All right, that day in Philadelphia sports history brought to you by the great folks here at the network who bring you shows like Clear the Ice, the Flyers post-game show. It's Thursday night at 7. We'll be back for our 25-26 season review show. Me and Mike Lara will put a bow on the Flyers season as we look forward to what the offseason will bring, which already is in full swing for the Flyers as they signed Alexei Kolosov, their goalie, a couple days ago. Is Danny B going to pull the trigger on the John LeClair trade? I hope he does. And what is the offseason going to be like for the Flyers? We'll get into all that on Thursday night, so make sure you're here on the network for that. Has Nola turned into a worse experiment than Walker? Yeah. And, obviously this is where I'm going to go with this first statement tonight. To me, the acceleration of Gage Wood doesn't make any. I honestly believe if in a perfect world, if the Phillies had 5 competent pitchers in their rotation right now, they would let Gage Wood cook on his own. Now, a promotion to Jersey Shore, 100% warranted. He should be in high A. Absolutely should be in high A. But moving him right to double A, to me, just really smacks of they're really starting to have some concerns about Nola. And that's concerning because now it's the organization kind of getting a little squirrely about Nola. And that, to me, it boils right down to it, is that and I don't know if Gage Wood has the time, if we'll ever see him this year. I know the Phillies want him as a starter. That's what they've been training him as a starter. They don't want him to be a reliever. And obviously, if he would have come up here, he'd have to start. But to me, this is this sort of a desperate move for the Phillies? Again, I mean, I'm sure there was a whole bunch of people sitting around a table discussing this. What are some of the ramifications of moving him up to double A? What are some of the positives of moving him to double A? Obviously, the big positive is that he goes to double A and does exactly what he did in low A. And then he, 4, 5, 6 starts, he's on his way to triple A. Maybe by the All-Star break or in August, he's up with the Iron Pigs. And then, who knows from that point? Then all bets are off. And I know the Phillies have pulled pitchers from double A before, Kirkering being the latest one or the most recent one. But Kirkering's not a starter. And I don't know if Gage Wood is being looked upon by the Phillies brass as a reliever. I don't think he is. They want him to start. So this to me smacks of desperation. And this also scares the hell out of me because now the organization's concerned about Nola. And we're on the hook for this guy for what, 4 more years? 4 more years of this. Now, Al says, has Nola turned into a worse experiment than Walker? I'm going to double down on that comment. Is Nola's contract shaping up to be the worst ever in Philadelphia sports history? I mean, are we going to look at Aaron Nola one day and be like, that was the worst decision anybody could have made? Now, I do remember And I'm not going to sit here and play Mr. Smartest man in the room. Not this time. I thought at the time, a no-brainer. You had to do what you had to do with Nola. So I'm not going to sit here and hold Dombrowski that accountable for the contract. I can't, because I didn't, and I know the people out there were not on board, and I get it. But to me, trying to keep the staff together as long as possible was the right thing to do. And Nola didn't show real signs of this then. Was that 2 years ago? Jeez. But now looking back in retrospect, obviously we would not do that, right? So Gage Wood on his way up to AA. I looked it up. D1 ball is equal to rookie short season. So yeah, it's my bad. Well, this elephant, listen, it's not about you being wrong, me being right, or the other way around. And honestly, whatever Wikipedia is telling you, that doesn't matter to me either. We don't do short season anymore either. So it's just the FCL or FCL, ACL when it comes to the complex leagues. So it's a relative question. I'm sure there's some people out there that would say yeah, but I've been on the field for some NCAA Division I games that you want to know equivalent to pro ball, man. Oh, no. Right. But I'm sure, and I've also, I know a lot of guys who worked the College World Series last year were like, it was one of the most intense experiences of their life, especially in that Coastal Carolina game where they threw out the manager and the first base coach in the first inning of game 2. All right. So I it's a relative question, right? It's open to debate, but I would just say, like, across the board, pro ball is such a change in everything, the lifestyle. Not that Division I these days is like your grandfather's Division I. I mean, most of these kids are pretty much in D1 playing sports, and that's all they do anyway. But it's a change in lifestyle. It's a change in everything. It's a change in life. I mean, their life is gone. It's baseball. And if not, guess what? You're out of a job. And that's that simple. So it's more of a lifestyle change than anything else. As far as the competition goes, you also got to look at it like this too. You're playing in low A, right? Or whatever, and at all levels of minor leagues. And then as you get up higher to like AA, it gets a little different. See, AA is going to be it's going to be interesting how he does handle with AA, because that's the first level that he's going to run into a Major League Baseball player, former Major League Baseball player. He's going to run into a guy that's been to the show in AA. That's the first level that you'll see those guys, and how he reacts and deals with those, we'll see. But everything that leads to AA, I mean, you're playing your contemporaries are the 1% of the 1%. It's all the drafted players and all the great players of the country come together and are in these leagues. There's a lot of D1 teams. If you look around, and I don't have the stat in front of me, but not everybody from a D1 team gets drafted. A lot of them are UDFAs. A lot of them don't even continue baseball beyond college. So now you're facing guys that are, one, drafted. So some team thought enough to waste a draft pick on you. Or two, you're UDFA. So some team thought enough to actually pay you for your services. So you're dealing with the upper levels or the upper crust of, and it's like that in all sports. That's why every level it changes. But the pros, all bets are off. So as far as the lifestyle goes, I just think that they should have, kind of walked him around. Things were different then too. Could you? I mean, listen, dude, so, okay, first let's go. Ty Cobb decides to jump into the stands and beat someone nearly to death for whatever reason. It doesn't get into why, right? And then his players stand in arm lock with him and say, you know what, we're not playing. And then, the Tigers and the A's come to some agreement, and then Connie Mack says, you know what, I changed my mind, we're going to play. I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's men's stuff right there, man. Not this soft-ass society. He did what? I would love to go back in time and catch a game at the Baker Bowl, but with my luck, I'd be there the day the bleachers collapsed. Oh, man. I would love to meet Connie Mack. I think me and Connie Mack would get along. I think we get along great. My problem with Wood's promotion being because of Nola is because there's zero chance Wood makes it up this year because he's only a 4 inning guy right now. Takes time. Yeah, I mean, but is being talking about 2026, is that being too short-sighted about this? Could this be more for getting him ready for 2027? Maybe they make a move with Nola in the offseason. I don't know if there's much more you can do to fix the Nola problem now. I think you're pretty much in bed with Nola, and you're just going to hope and pray that he can put it together and come out and give you something every fifth day. Right? Does this move more to accelerate what you might be able to do in the offseason if you could potentially move off of Nola, which I know you probably can't. But is this more to like facilitate what this team will look like in 2027? And again, I'm not saying he's going to make the team out of camp at 27. No, but there's a good chance, and there's more than a good chance that he does finish the year in AAA if he can successfully traverse AA, and he's got 3/4 of the season to do it. He could find himself up in Lehigh Valley in the end of September with a start there at the end of the season. There's a really good chance that happens. So that sets everything up for next year, where at the very least he starts the season in AAA. And he's only, what, a 45-minute ride up the turnpike or up the Blue Route from Philadelphia. Yeah, I think it's more for 2027. Yeah, I think it is. I'm not suggesting that this is something that's going to affect the Phillies in 2026. No, absolutely not. But it does give people pause for concern about Aaron Nola and his future with this team and what they're going to do and how bad this contract might look as of now. So, all bets are off with that. So Gage Wood's headed up to Reading. He's not going to go to he's not going to the Jersey Shore. He's going right to AA. Felix Reyes heading back down to AAA. Otto Kemp back in the lineup. And Garrett Stubbs remains. Pinch ran tonight, man. And then they showed the shot in the dugout there right before the Phillies took the lead of Garrett Stubbs looking for some first base mitts. Oh, my God. Was there actually a conversation to put Garrett Stubbs in at first? I mean, Rob Thompson's flipping around in his grave on that one, boy. Woo. Ooh. So huh? SP. Talking in code, Kaepernick. So Sosa batted fourth. He did, and he produced. He got a run. He produced a walk, and he scored a run. Yeah. I'm with you on the Sosa thing too, man. Sosa's a good guy to, good platoon guy to bring in, but we've been relying way too much on Armando Sosa this year, and I don't think that's a good thing. Thompson underestimated Stubbs' magic, which is why he's sitting at home right now. It's just the curse of Garrett Stubbs. It's funny too, and I say this with all respect, and not respect, but with all honesty. You got Reyes going down, Stubbs is here. Again, we're still carrying 3 catchers. What is this, man? What does Garrett Stubbs? I want someone. I'm going to contact the Phillies. And I want an informational pamphlet on Garrett Stubbs and why he's so damn valuable to this organization. What is it about this guy? This guy, let me tell you what, man. This guy, every little kid who wants to be a Major League Baseball player should envy and pattern their life after Garrett Stubbs. He's living the dream right now, man. He can't be cut from a Major League Baseball team, even though he provides absolutely nothing on a day-to-day basis. And he's getting paid about $1 million to do it. I mean, listen, I'm going to sit here and give him a lot of shade, but man, who negotiated his deal for life? I mean, come on. And I got to step back and be like, you know what? I got to appreciate the Garrett Stubbs because I wish I was living that life. I wish I was being able to never be cut from a baseball team, a major league, even though I provide nothing on the field, but I can't be cut. And then when I do get cut, I pass through waivers, return to AAA, and then get called back up in some bull crap scenario where we're going to carry 3 catchers. I mean, come on. You know, God bless you, Garrett Stubbs. You're living the best life you could live. And I am envious of you. And let me tell you what. I just hope that the God that one day that our season's not resting on the bat of Garrett Stubbs, much like it did on Jake Cave's bat back in 23. I just hope that doesn't happen. But up to this point, I can't be, I mean, I love me some Garrett Stubbs. I'm so envious of him. He's not a catcher. He's a, yeah, no kidding. But no kidding. Phillies are a 750 winning percentage with Stubbs on the roster. Oh, come on, man. Come on. I heard he can play first base. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that they panned into the dugout. He came on as a pinch runner and then got put out on a fielder's choice. And they went right into the dugout as he was rummaging through the first baseman's mitt. And first of all, he's standing next to Alec Boehm. It's like Alec Boehm was talking to his child. Alec Boehm's like 6'8". Garrett Stubbs like 5'11". It was one of the weirdest, you know, like, what is this? And then to even think that they would give Garrett Stubbs an opportunity to play first is laughable. I'd much rather see Otto Kemp play first, you know. But, and then they decided the 9th inning to burn the DH and put Harper in at first, which was interesting. Very interesting. You know what you could have done? You could have moved Real Muto to first. JT, I've heard JT can play first. I've never seen it, but I heard he can play first. Yeah, you could have moved Stubbs behind the plate or Marchand, anybody really. You got 3 of them to choose from, and you could have moved JT out on first, and you could have kept the DH. Does anybody verify or confirm or deny that JT Realmuto can play first base? I've heard he could, but I've never seen him do it. Are the phone lines opening up? They are, Michael Papernick. We're going to get to the phone lines here in a minute. We're talking tonight, of course. The conversation is geared towards the Phillies right now, sort of back and forth between the Phillies 5-4 win over the Reds tonight and the roster moves that the team made today, sending Felix Reyes back down to AAA and calling Otto Kemp back up. And, of course, the big news, Gage Wood, old number 19, moving on from Clearwater up to Reading and skipping Jersey Shore. And you know what? As I said at the opening of this show, if I was Gage Wood and I did my research and was like, you know what? The next stop along this train for me is the Jersey Shore. Are you kidding me? I get to go hang out at the seashore in the summer when I'm 22. Oh, man. That would be so much motivation for me to get to high A and then to be told today, oh, you've been promoted. And I'm like, okay, let me get my mucklucks, my sandcastle bucket, my little bucket hat, my little shovel. Let's go. And be like, oh, hang on there, Skippy. No. You're going to Reading. Reading? Where the hell is Reading? This guy's summer was probably all mapped out. He probably had the summer mapped out. There's a place in Point Pleasant called the Tiki Bar. It's a pier on the about middle point of the boardwalk. And it stretches out, into the ocean. And on the end of this pier, there's this big Tiki Bar. I remember when I was 27, I was home on leave. And I took my mother to the shore. Was it 4th of July weekend? I don't remember. But she likes to sit out in the sun. So I went up to the bar. And I drank pina coladas from 12 noon to 7 o'clock at night. 7 hours of pina coladas. I don't remember how I got back to the hotel room. I know I didn't eat, and I know I passed out around 7:30. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of drinking 7 hours straight of pina coladas, but it put me off of pina coladas for life. Oh, man, that was pretty bad. Yes, JT can play first base. Has he ever done it? I've never seen him do it. I will be home in 10. Okay, Papernick, we'll be here. Got it. I umped a high school softball game today at Point Pleasant Beach. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, MP. What else was fun? And then, of course, you got Seaside that's up there, too, up near Lakewood. So when, you got, and that's funny because the shore life is so regional. You know, you got Wildwood, Cape May, Atlantic City, Ocean City. They're all Philly influenced, right? But then as you move up north to the northern shore points, to Point Pleasant, Seaside, Asbury Park, places up that way, it's very New York influenced. It's actually pretty cool to see the difference. I've always enjoyed that. When you go around to the little stands on the boardwalk where you can win prizes, those Phillies jerseys and, Eagles jerseys and stuff like that. Philadelphia sports teams hats down in Wildwood, down in Ocean City. But as you move on up north, those Phillies jerseys are replaced with Mets jerseys and Yankees jerseys. And, it's actually pretty cool. It really is. But boy, man, Gage Wood had it in his hands and they took it away from him. How was the weather down there today? Was it 90? I was not expecting Bohm to turn it around. That has been one of the bigger stories of this season. And Stott, I'm not going to, let's put Bryson Stott in this category too. Alec Bohm's batting average is now up at 217. He went 2 for 3 tonight with the home run and another RBI, and he scored a run. And then you got Bryson Stott. His average is up at 226 as he went 1 for 3 tonight with the 2-run shot, the game winner. I mean, obviously, this has been huge for the Phillies. The rejuvenation of Stott and Bohm. Garcia was 0 for 3 tonight with a RBI on the sac fly, which has been terrible. 68 degrees. Really? Oof. I know it's cooler down there because it's the ocean, but goddamn. It's downright freezing. Yeah, JT has played first base. When? Does anybody have videotape of it? A buddy of mine has 4 front row seats for the Blue Calls. Let me know. Absolutely. I would love to go. So how far away approximately is Point Pleasant from Lakewood? Point Pleasant Seaside area, Toms River, all that area. How far approximately is that from Lakewood? Would it be better to stay in that area, or like if I was going to go to the shore, say I was going to go to Wildwood, because I know it's like 45 minutes to an hour from Wildwood, correct? So how far away approximately? Now he says 15 minutes. So that would obviously that'd be better to base myself out of Point Pleasant or Seaside if I was going to go catch a Blue Claw game, huh? Is Lakewood on the ocean? I've never been to Lakewood. Is it on the bay? I mean, what's it like? I'm more southwest than Lakewood, and it was 99 today. Yeah, I mean, good God, it was 94 here where I was. And I had a game today on turf. So it was probably about 105, 106 on the field today. My partner went down, actually. He didn't make it through the game. I had to finish the game by calling balls and strikes. I was on the bases. He was behind the plate. I had to finish the game with calling balls and strikes from behind pitcher's mound. Like some sort of Little League game. It was fun. Bohm can play first. Yeah, he did, but we're talking like because wasn't Stubbs pulled? Bohm was pulled tonight for a pinch runner, right? Wasn't that who got pulled for that in that game? All right, so Phillies with the 5-4 win. They are now 16-4 under Don Mattingly. 5 wins in a row. Tomorrow they could win their 7th series in a row. Their 8th overall on the year. And they got a big West Coast trip coming up next week. San Diego. What is it? Next week you got 3 with San Diego, 3 with the Dodgers, then 3 with San Diego again here, and then the White Sox. So big West Coast trip coming up next week. They got to really crunch some of these wins. Lakewood is inland, about 15 miles from the beach. The town itself is garbage now. The ballpark is close to the Garden State Parkway. Okay, so easy on, easy off type thing. Cool. We can win 7 in a row. 7 series in a row, yeah. That's pretty intense. All right, so the Phillies with the 5-4 win and massive personnel moves all over the place as the Otto Kemp is back. Felix Reyes down. Felix Reyes, yay or nay? Does he ever come back? Do we ever see Felix Reyes again in a Phillies uniform? I don't think we do. I think that I don't know, man. But of course, the need for a right-handed power bat still exists. So I guess if there's still a need for a right-handed power bat, I guess there's always a chance that Felix Reyes may return. But it's probably not looking good. What was he, like 1 for 40? Did he only get 1 hit? Was the home run? Was that the only hit he had here? God, that was horrible, man. But all right, let's do this. Let's open the phone lines. I will get the phone lines open. If you want to come on, just click the link. It should be dropping into your chat room wherever you're viewing this from. And you click that link. It'll put you backstage here with me. I'll put you on camera. You don't have to be on camera. You can just do audio if you want. But I do need to be able to at least hear you, and you need to hear me. So, kind of like the sports talk radio thing, just using digital technology versus phone technology. And we'll continue the conversation with the Phillies or anything you want. Again, the Eagles are on the table. Remember this from last night. This is your 2026 Eagles schedule. And I maintain that I see multiple pathways to this schedule. I see a pathway to 13 wins, but I also see a pathway to 8-9 losses. I think the season comes down to the stretch of games, Seattle, Houston, and San Francisco. I truly believe that those 3 games are going to heavily dictate the Philadelphia Eagles season. 100%. I think heading into those stretch of games, the Eagles will be 8-5. 8-5. And then what happens in those 3 games is going to influence the season completely. So essentially, the season hangs in the balance with these 3 games. This mini gauntlet, I guess. I don't know. Would you consider a 3-game stretch like this a gauntlet or a mini gauntlet or a speed bump? A couple of things the Eagles got going for them in their favor, though, is 2 of the 3 are at home, which will help them. And, of course, one of these games is that crazy Christmas Eve game at 8:15, which me and Joe Hale discovered yesterday is the only NFL game on Christmas Eve. So not only is the NFL putting the Eagles on Christmas Eve and at 8:15, but it's the only game. Why so late? If it's the only game, could they flex it down 5 o'clock for those of us that have lives? 5 o'clock would be a more appropriate time for a football game on Christmas Eve. If you have this thing at 8:15, what are you going to tell the good folks at the what is the bowl game that's on? It's like isn't it the Hawaii Bowl, or isn't there one like out in Hawaii on Christmas Eve? Like the only bowl game on? I just don't understand I don't understand it, man. But 8-5 is where I see the Eagles as they land on that Seattle game. And what happens from that point forward, I think, greatly dictates the season. The rest of these games, I know I took a little heat for my predictions of this, and these are unofficial predictions because I'm not prepared to make an official prediction yet, not in May, but listen, there's no easy wins in any of this. There's one. There's one game, or I'm sorry, there's 2. There's 2 games that if the Eagles lose, they might as well just pack it in for the season. That's Tennessee and Arizona. I mean, you could put those two in the bank, right? Right. And maybe Indy. Maybe you talk yourself into the Indy game too. But the other games, every single other one of these games, I could definitely see it going either way. Easily. And my prediction that the Eagles could potentially come out on opening day in Philly in front of the faithful and lose to the Commanders, I think is very valid. Very valid. We don't know what this team is going to be. We every year we go through this same little dance about the preseason. Every year. It is pathetic that we got to waste the first 4 games of the season for these teams to essentially have their preseason, because nobody takes the preseason for serious anymore. So to sit here and tell me that I'm off the res, and no pun intended there, about thinking that the Commanders could come in here on opening day and beat the Eagles, it's clouded by homerism. It's clouded by homerism. There's definitely a chance that could happen with all the changes, structurally and schematically that the Eagles have gone under with their offense. And yeah, I know the defense is going to be the defense, and they're probably going to hit the ground running for the Eagles, as they probably will, because there's continuity, and there's great continuity on that defensive side of the ball. But like we saw last year against the Cowboys on opening day, the offense struggled in that game under a new offensive coordinator, running an RPO style offense. Now we're going to take a new offensive coordinator who likes to run a West Coast offense, and you're going to put Jalen Hurts in charge of it on his very first game and expect him to come out firing darts? I guess you can call me a hater about that, but I'm not buying it, man. I mean, it's not going to be seamless, and it's not going to be seamless for the Commanders either. I get it. And that's why I say there's a good 50-50 chance that the Eagles could lose this game. But I do think that the Eagles get to the Seattle game sitting at a healthy 8-5. And those 3 games, Seattle, Houston, and at San Francisco, is your season right there. The season will be defined by those 3 games and what happens in those 3 games. They could come out of that as an 8-8 team. They could come out of it as an 11-5 team. Right? 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11-5. Or they could be anywhere in between. It's not a lock. There's nothing about the Eagles season right now at this point that tells me there's a lock about anything. Nothing. Not a damn thing. So that's on the table if you want to continue to talk this discussion about the Eagles. Phillies, of course, driving the train tonight. 5-4 winners over the Reds. Come from behind twice. Andrew Painter. We didn't talk much about him. What his line tonight? Andrew Painter, 6, right? He went 6. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, 69 pitches in 6 innings. I can live with that. ERA now down to or up to whatever, 5.77. I was happy with his performance tonight. It was encouraging. 2 very encouraging starts. Still has some command problems, right, that he's trying to get through. But I think JT called a really good game for him tonight, and I really do. I thought Painter was pitching. I still don't see the life on that fastball that I saw last year. Yeah, last year I saw a fastball that had a lot of life and a lot of tail and a lot of bite, and that's post Tommy John. But I have not seen that fastball yet from him, and I think until he gets that thing back, we're going to this is what you're going to get from Painter. But an encouraging start tonight for him, as we definitely need that from him. Painter has become very important to this team with the struggles of Aaron Nola. We definitely can't afford another starter not to perform. So Painter pitched really well. The offense responded with the small ball, with the long ball, 2 more home runs tonight, but they drove in some runs. They cashed in. Lolo, whatever his name is, was on the ropes. Now he was on the ropes, and they had a chance to kind of finish him off early. They didn't. It was a little, you never want to leave ducks on the pond. but I thought that the offense played pretty good tonight. And Don Mattingly continues his magical run, 16-4 now, as the manager of the Fighting Phillies. So let's move on into the other night segment because I'm about halfway through some of these draft things. But we got some good ones to talk about tonight. So let's do the other night, and then I'll take your calls if you chime in. Yep. So the other night we're doing three tonight. We're doing MLB draft, NHL draft, and our Phillies prospect of the night. So let's start off with the MLB. You know what? Let's go NHL tonight because we're going to go with the Mount Rushmore tonight. The consensus number 1 overall pick. The man that the Toronto Maple Leafs are already starting to put together his jersey right as we speak, and that of course is the left winger currently playing for the Penn State Nittany Lions, Gavin McKenna, a 6 foot, 170-pound winger. Elite puck skills and vision. McKenna is considered one of the most creative and technically gifted players in his age group. He excels at stick handling through traffic, finding passing lanes, and setting up plays with precision. A pass-first player who can generate high-level power play production due to his ability to cycle on attack with pace. Off-the-charts creativity. Scouts note his ability to anticipate plays, cycle the puck, and redirect shots with speed. Strong skating for his size with a confident high level. International experience, proven at the World Juniors and U18 World Championships, showing adaptability to elite competition. So he is your consensus number 1, right? He's the guy that everyone's gearing up for. And it was fun watching him play at Happy Valley this year. He's a really good player. Now, is he Connor Bedard? Is he Macklin Celebrini good? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he is that good, but I'd put him Jack Hughes good. Definitely would comp him to Jack Hughes. That's probably a very good comp. Hopefully he doesn't struggle with injuries like Jack did in the early part of his career, but very much so I see a young Jack, or Jack is young himself, but a younger Jack Hughes. Well worth the first overall draft pick, I think, by the Maple Leafs for him. It's a shame. I would love to have him flying down the left side of the arena, but yeah. So Gavin McKenna, your consensus number 1 overall pick in this year's NHL draft, the 6 foot, 170-pound left winger who plays for Penn State. 6 foot I can live with. He's going to have to put on some weight. I need 15 more pounds. I need you to be about 185. 185 there, young man, and you'll be a dynamo right there. But there you have it. Gavin McKenna, the consensus number 1 pick in this year's draft. All right, let's move to Phillies prospects now, and that is Moises Chase. You guys remember this guy? I had a lot of really high hopes for him, and it hasn't worked out. Chase was acquired by the Phillies back in 2024 in the trade deadline deal with Baltimore. Sent Greg Soto to the Orioles. Chase and Seth Johnson were 2 of the pitchers. There was another. Who else got? Was it? It was Soto and Dominguez got traded to the Orioles. One brought back Seth Johnson. The other one brought back Moises Chase. He started out in AAA. Was in AAA for the rest of 24. Started in 25. Now he's down in AA. Kind of regressed a bit. Right-hander. Really good looking prospect at the Phillies. I mean, obviously they took a chance with him. Was high in the Baltimore organization. He's still top 30 here, but I'm just not seeing enough from him. He seems to be kind of like stuck in neutral right now, as again, he's regressed and he's down in AA. He operates in the 94, 95 mile an hour range, touching 98 with his fastball previously, but was sitting around 91 in 2025 before he was shut down. Again, there were some injury concerns as well. The Phillies are hopeful that his invincible fastball with a ton of ride up in the zone coming from a low release point will return post rehab and go back to missing a ton of bats. Now, he did deal with some arm problems in 2025 that might have absolutely led to his regression, but he wasn't blowing it up before the arm issues. His low 80s sweeper can be an out pitch in the low 80s, changeup in a mid 80s cutter, also effective when he's at the best 80s changeup. He didn't use it much in college, but the Phillies think he can be useful third pitch in the future. So Moises Chase is one of those pitchers that really there was some high expectations with, and he's been sort of sidelined with some injuries and some regression, and he's kind of making a second go of it down there in Double-A. With some of our pitching problems, these guys, and I don't know if Chase ever grades out to be a starter, but he definitely could be useful in the bullpen. And when you're talking about players like him, Seth Johnson, players that we gave up some quality MLB players for, you really want to get some return from them. And these are Dave Dombrowski trades. So yeah, I mean, take that for what it is. So that's tonight's Phillies prospect is Moises Chase. Let's wrap it up with our MLB draft prospect of the night. And that's Jackson Flora, the right-hand pitcher from UC Santa Barbara, 20-year-old right-hander, 6'5", 205 pounds. Flora's combination of size and arm strength should intrigue most teams. 6'5" right-hander already offers premium velocity with a fastball that sits in the 96, 97 mile range and regularly touches triple digits with good shape, carry, and arm ride to it. He'll employ two different sliders, both of which can flash plus. There's a slower 78 to 81 mile sweeper with a lot of horizontal depth and also a harder, more gyro-like traditional slider thrown at the 86 to 89 mile range. He's got plus feel to spin and just needs to gain a little bit more consistency with shape. He's a hard changeup, is coming along a kick change with downer split depth that now flashes plus. Does a kid like this look at you when you see a pitcher, a 6'6" or 6'5", 205 pound right-hander who throws consistently in the 97 mile an hour range? Is that scream closer to you, or does that scream starter? That's an interesting question. I think that he's also a top 10 rated draft pick, by the way. He's probably going to go in rounds 1 through 10 in the first round. But what does he grade to you? What do you see a power guy? I mean, it's a power arm. Let's face it. This is what this kid is. He's a power thrower. Would he be better off? And by the way, he's wearing an illegal glove. He can't wear that glove. Look at that glove he's wearing. It's gray. Who let him play with a gray glove? Can't use gray or white. Unless is that gray? Yeah, it's gray enough, man. Look at that, man. Division I umpires. Think they know everything. Does he grade out to you as a closer? Would he be best served as a closer? Or is he somebody that you want to have in your rotation? I mean, is he going to be able to throw 97 miles an hour through 80, 90 pitches a game? No, it's a good problem to have when you draft a kid like this. But as I said, a top 10 projected pick. And we've been running the pitchers lately. I mean, the last couple of nights we've done pitchers. So we're getting into that part of the draft here. So Jackson Flora, the big right-hander from UC Santa Barbara, is your MLB draft prospect of the night. And that will wrap up the of the night segment. And that puts us down to time to talk to callers. If the Phillies keep us up through the summer, would trade Wood for the right player? Good question. That's a very good question now. You would have to say, yeah, right? I know the talk right now is about, I was on the post game yesterday. Somebody was asking me about push all the chips in the middle of the table, go for broke, that Dombrowski has to do it this year. And I've been teetering on that situation myself because, Dave's been under a lot of heat, rightfully so. The manager didn't work out. He's got what, $36 million worth of salary sitting at home in Taiwan Walker and Nick Castellanos. It's not been a great year for Dave Dombrowski, right? It hasn't been. Now, in a situation where the Phillies are in potentially come the trade deadline, where you may be in a spot to take advantage of this Don Mattingly thing, if it's a thing, like kind of like with Rob Thompson back in 22, does Dave Dombrowski revert back to Dave Dombrowski and then become the farm system killer that he is sort of known for? He hasn't really done it yet. He's done it a lot more than I really me personally, I think he's done it more than I like. I don't like the fact that he's given up every catching prospect that we've ever had in our system. Absolutely not. But does Dave Dombrowski feel the heat and say, you know what, I am all in, and everybody's on the table? And I listen, I'm not saying, could Gage Wood fetch you the right player? Yeah, but I don't want a rental. I mean, if you're going to go after somebody, it's got to be somebody that's got some life left on a contract. I would not be into a rental player. Could Gage Wood factor into a Mike Trout-like trade? Potentially. But then we're entering in a whole different spectrum here of decision making from this guy, and I don't know if I'm prepared for that, because then we're starting to get back into that 2013, like when we got rid of all of our draft picks for the Hunter Pences of the world, and the players like that, and we got rid of everything in our system, and we were left with nothing. Not that it really amounted to anything anyway, those guys, but still, I don't know if I want to. I don't know where I'm all about the prospects, man. I really am. I'm about the future. But does Dave feel the heat? And I think he might. My boy Spike Eskin thinks we owed him. No, he's not my boy. No, I don't like Spike. I like the father. Matter of fact, I do like Howard. Spike Eskin thinks we just, what? For what? What do we owe him an apology for? What do we owe Spike Eskin an apology for? Or not Spike Eskin. What do we owe Dave Dombrowski an apology for? For not running his ass out of here with pitchforks and torches? I don't understand. Please clarify what he's talking about. Spike Eskin thinks we owe Dave Dombrowski an apology. For what? Please be more specific. If Wood does well in Double-A, that will definitely raise his trade value for the trade deadline. And yes, and that's one side of this we didn't look at, Elephant, right? Is the fast track that is him being fast tracked to Double-A? Is that also trade related? Are they making him or trying to make him more attractive to trades? Yeah, you might have something there. He should feel the heat. Most of the problems we have fall on him, Walker Castellanos, and now seemingly Noah. Yeah. But you're not going to give him credit for the JT. Isn't he JT? No, he's not JT. Was Clintac JT? Yeah, Clintac brought JT here, right? And we re-signed, and Dombrowski re-signed him. Well, so what has Dombrowski done well? What? Duran? Who else? Oh, Turner, right? 2? He's made 2 good moves. Does Aiden Miller's situation make you feel different about the prospects? No. I know. No, it doesn't. Nope. First of all, what is Aiden Miller's situation? That's what I want to know. What is the situation? Nobody knows, right? Obviously, it's something bad. Obviously, it's something pretty it's pretty intense, right? Because he hasn't picked up a bat in 6 months, okay? Or something happened in spring training, whatever. No, it doesn't change my feelings. It doesn't. Listen, prospects are prospects. I know what they are, right? But, how many times have we given up on prospects? I mean, there's been a notable amounts of times in our history that we've done that. And there's also been a lot of times where we've given up on prospects and they didn't pan out. I get that. But no, I still feel the same way that I'm just a big firm believer that you build from within and that you build a champion from within. Look at the Phillies. Look at the 2008 Phillies. The majority of those guys were internal pieces, draft choices, draft picks, prospects developed by the system. And then we added from the outside. We brought in free agents to sort of complement them. Rule 5 draft picks, whatever. But that's how you build the core, right? You build the core through the system, and then you add the external pieces to help them. Now, of course, the Phillies did this ass backwards. They bought the pieces, and now they're trying to supplement them with the core, and that's maybe part of our problem here. And it hasn't worked. It really has not sort of married up. So no, it doesn't change my opinion about the way I look at prospects, because I'm a firm believer that you build champions from within. You absolutely build champions from within. You add external pieces. Yeah, and I get the Yankees and all that, but I'm a firm believer of that. Spike Eskin. Why are we talking about Spike? Oh, that's because of that, what he said. For some odd reason. There we go. Spike Eskin intention was to basically put all the blame on Thompson. Really? Oh, okay. I think I'm piecing it together. Spike says it's not the roster. The roster was fine. The problem was the players had quit on the manager, and he needed to replace the manager. Well, obviously, if that's the case, the roster wasn't fine because you had a bunch of players that quit. So that tells me right off the bat that the roster wasn't fine. That you have a lot of people that were, felt the power, felt the ability to act up like a bunch of insolent children and say, we're not going to do it. So no, the roster's not fine if that's the case. And that they had quit on the manager and needed to replace the manager. But he brought the roster here. He brought the roster. These are his people. Yeah, I don't understand that. Of course, the roster's not fine. Again, we're losing sight of this, Alan. I'm not saying you, but Spike Eskin's losing sight of, we haven't won anything with this roster up to this point, and now it fell off a cliff. So the venom towards Dave Dombrowski is 100% justified, 100%. And to say that you have a roster of players that feel so empowered that they can quit, that's not a fine roster. It's a bunch of little children. This ain't the 27 Yankees that are giving up on whoever the hell their manager was then. Right? These guys have nothing to back up their behavior. They have no skin in the game. They don't, there were no commissioner's trophies plopped down on a table in the clubhouse and said, you know what, we have these. We want him out. That's an absolutely ridiculous statement if that's true. Again, I'm not a Spike guy. By the way, his name's Brett. It's Brett Eskin. I don't know where the hell he got Spike from. Is now the right time to actually go after Trout? Is the power bat of the right-handed variant still tops on everybody's list? I think it is. And I think don't you guys have like the trade machines that you could put trades into? And maybe I should try to download something like that to find out what exactly it would take to get a Mike Trout. I'd be interested to see what AI thinks Mike Trout's worth and what the Angels would be willing to part with. Roster isn't fine when you have to start Adolis Garcia in a second base. Yeah, that's my point. I don't know where he gets off saying that the roster's fine. One, they haven't won anything. They failed every season to meet the expectations and the payroll and all that. No, it wasn't that. The roster's not fine, and it still ain't fine. It still ain't fine. But they've stopped completely playing terrible. and they're playing more like they are who they are. Now, I'm not a Spike Eskin guy at all. I actually interviewed him one time, long time ago, like pre-EOP days. We got in an argument about 90s basketball versus today. He had the audacity to tell me that today's game was better. The audacity. Baseball trade. Is that what that machine is? Yeah. I'd like to run that. That'd be pretty cool. But Howard Eskin's my guy. All right. Howard Eskin. Matter of fact, in honor of Howard Eskin, let me play you this.
Live from South Philly to the Delaware Valley, Two voices, two eras, one city that never stays quiet. This is Philly sports passion. Sunglasses black, king of the hotline, never held back. Broad Street loud with the old school fire, calling out coaches, taking fans higher. From the vet to the link, he's seen it all. Flyers, fights, and Phillies fall. A Philly icon built for the night, turning sports radio into a prize fight. Then a new voice rolls through the digital storm. MattyB bringing Philly passion in a brand new form. Breaking down drafts, every rumor and play. It's a rap sports network leading the way. Hey, different generations, same Philly soul. Talking birds and flyers, chasing the goal. Howard paved the road with legendary takes. MattyB keeps it rolling for the city sake. From 94 whip to the live stream screen. Blue collar hearts painted midnight green. One built the legacy, one carries the flame. Philadelphia sports, forever the game. Howard brought the edge when the city was raw. Calling out nonsense without a flaw. Fans tuned in just to hear him explode. Every rant and rumor shook the whole road. MattyB's got graphics lighting up the night. Mock drafts, hot takes, every stat airtight. Building the network for the Philly crowd, keeping the fans informed and loud. Yeah. This ain't about old versus new. Hey. It's about the fans that always stay true. Through every collapse and every parade, hey. Philly sports passion never fades. Howard's voice echoes through the years. MattyB's vision brings a new frontier. Microphones change, but the heart beats the same. In this city, sports are the name. Hey, hey. Raise the volume, let the city sing. For every heartbreak that the seasons bring. From Broad Street bars to the online stage, Philly sports passion never ages. Howard Eskin, Philly radio king. MattyB making the next bell ring. Two generations standing side by side with Philadelphia. Forever as the pride. P-A-G-L-E-S. Let's go Phils. Let's go Flyers. It's a wrap. But Philly sports never sleep.
You just feel the spirit move you? Let me tell you what. Yeah, I don't like Brett. I'm a Howard guy. According to AI, potential trade package would likely cost Dante Nori combined with multiple high ceiling pitchers from the minors. Example, Gage Wood or Cade Ogenmuller, and absorbing $140 million. See, there you go. So would you be willing to give up Dante Nori, Gage Wood, and probably Cade Ogenmuller and absorbing 140? How would you absorb 140? Could we even absorb 140 million? I don't know. I would do that, man. That doesn't seem too much, does it? That's interesting. That's an interesting starting point. I would be definitely into it. I did not create me and Howard a theme song. No. I just thought, the spirit moves me at times. So I just, again, paying honor to Howard. No, I did not create me and him a theme song. Let's go to the phones. Mike Pavernick's been waiting patiently. Pavernick, what's up, man? Oh, wait.
Okay,
Pavernick,
so
you there? You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I got you, man. I got you.
Okay, all right. So I don't know if I want Trout. How old is he? Isn't he like a toenail away from like being injured?
Well, that's the big thing about Trout this year, Pavernick, is that he's not injured for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah, no, yet. yet.
Right.
Okay, so
but we
we're
need
going to
a
give
right-handed power bat. We need a right-handed power bat so bad.
I get it. So why don't we trade Brandon Marsh, maybe Reyes? I mean, I just Googled and did AI. They said we had to start off with like Nori or Crawford going into it. And there's no way I'm shipping any of them dudes for a guy who ain't elite no more.
So Al did it, and this is what he got. He got Dante Nori, Gage Wood, or Cade Obermueller, and also we had to absorb $140 million in salary, which I don't know if the Phillies can do that.
Now, you know what? Ship them guys to Pittsburgh. Go get Paul Skeens.
Now that's another interesting point. You know, all the talk about the right-handed power bat, but what about the Aaron Nola protection? Yeah, what about the Aaron Nola protection?
Everybody's talking about getting rid of Gage Wood. Well, that means if we get rid of Wood, that means we got to hope that we got another minor leaguer, or we have to sign somebody to be the number 4 or 5 next year again. When Woods could come up and he ain't going to cost nothing.
Yeah. Elephant in the room says Mike Trout is the equivalent of baseball's Joel Embiid. That's very good.
Really? What? I mean, if this was 6-7 years ago, that's a different story. How old is he? He's got to be 33, 32, 33, 34.
Yeah, Mike Trout's up there, man.
He's the same age as Harper.
Yeah, they came in like the same time. Yeah.
I think Trout was a year before him or something. But
he is 34 years old.
Yeah. I'm not giving up. He's not elite no more. So I'm not giving up none of my top 10 prospects for him. They can get prospects 80 to 100. That's what they get.
So what do we do about the what do we do about the right-handed bat? Do we just keep dealing with Garcia? What do we do?
Well, look, something will pop up. I mean, something might pop up. I mean, we don't know. I mean, it's still got time. I mean, look, if the Giants are out of it, why not try to get Chapman from the Giants, the third baseman?
Yeah, that would actually fit 2 birds with 1 stone there. Honestly.
And think about this: if nobody knows what's going on with Aiden Miller, so I mean, that's why everybody wants to go out and get Mike Trout. And no, I mean, listen, how's this? Go out and find somebody who can actually play. It ain't going to be injured. I mean, man, Brandon Marsh is a candidate to be traded right now. Even though he's hitting, I get it, but his value will never be any higher.
No, I agree, and we've been saying this since the beginning of the season that trading Marsh would be probably well, I personally would love it because it would but listen, Papernick, so we got to factor in a couple things here. Dombrowski's not had a great season. He hasn't. He's sitting on $38 million worth of salary that's sitting at home. He's fired his manager. Does he feel the heat? No, but does he? I agree.
He does.
Does he feel the heat to do an all-in type of trade, a Mike Trout name headlining kind of trade to save his reputation or save the season? Whatever.
No. I think for all Dave's faults, I don't think if he trades away any of these prospects for Mike Trout, he should be burned at the stake. People should come out with pitchforks. I mean John Middleton should just literally fire him and just let Mattingly's son run the whole thing. I mean, we can't get no worse than that.
Yeah, seriously. Listen, I agree.
I mean, what teams? You just got to look around. All you got to do is look around and see what teams ain't playing so well, and who's got some bat, maybe a bat or two, or something. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to come down to. I just don't. You can't give away any of these. I mean, if you can't. And here's a question for you. Yeah. Okay. No, I'll listen. I was going to go off that.
What do you make the Gage Wood promotion beyond past high A right to double A? What's Mike Papernick think about that? And what else is going on here? What's the other side of that.
Dante Norris should be up here, not Kemp. All I'll say is that. Okay, he proved already what he could do. And Gage Wood, now they're going to jump Gage Woods to Double-A, and then by the end of the season he'll be on the Phillies. They need outfield help. Dante Norris, I know he's a left-handed bat, and I get it, but I just think, who's holding them back? Marsh, Garcia.
Crawford. Don't forget, Norrie is a center fielder.
No.
Norrie is a center fielder.
Well, then put him in center field, put Crawford left. No big deal. Flip him. I mean, if you can play center field, you can play any position. That's my point. Like, everybody, Gage Woods is jumping up. Gage Woods. Then people say, oh, well, his trade value. Oh, that's great. Now we're just going to trade away one of the best pitchers we got for a 34-year-old guy who's got 1 foot going out the door in about a year or two.
But I don't think it's beyond the realm of doubt that that's why they are moving him up, to sort of advertise him and showcase him a bit. I'm not saying that's why they are, but you can't totally take that off the table. That's why they're not doing that, or that's why they are doing it.
Look, all them guys are showcased down there. It don't make no difference anyway. Nori's showcased. He's showcased. All them guys are going to be showcased down there. If they're playing well, the scouts already seen them from other teams. They know who they want. They know what players they like, whether it's in single A or whatever, Double-A, Triple-A, before single A. They already know what they want, what they'd like to get off the Phillies or any team. But you got to look around the league and think, like, there's going to be some teams that are going to be like, all right, we're going to sell. I mean, is Duran from Boston a lefty or righty?
Darren Duran, that kid?
Jared Duran, yeah. I think he's lefty, right? I think he's lefty.
Let's see what he is. Oh, geez. What the hell did I type? I don't even know what that is. Hang on. Duran is there he is. Hang on. See, wow, man. Daren.
It's Duran.
Yeah, it's Jaron Duran. He is a. Let me pull it up. I don't know why I couldn't type his name. I kept on. He's a lefty.
Yeah. See, the Phillies. All they got to do is they got to look around. Like, go to Colorado. See if they got any right-handed bats. See if pick somebody.
Mickey Moniak.
Well, he's left-handed.
Moniak's out there.
He's lefty. Yeah, he's left-handed.
Moniak is a lefty. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that's what they got to do. I mean, there's going to be a team that's going to open up with some players. They'll be like, all right, we're going to look to get rid of them. I mean, hell, if you want to take a shot with somebody, go after Fernando Tatis. I heard he was on they were looking to trade him, like 2 years ago or a year ago or something. Call them up. See if they're willing to move him.
They should have got Luis Arraez. They should have signed goddamn Luis Arraez when he was free agent.
Well, I'm just saying, you could, if Dombrowski gets creative, I mean, he could find somebody. I'm telling you, if they got to give up any of them prospects for Trout, that guy, that's bad. That's bad. I'm telling you, it's not going to work in Philly. It's not. The team just got older and stuck with a bigger contract again with a guy for the next 5 years with a no trade clause. So now we're stuck with Turner, Harper, Schwarber, Trout till they're like 40 years old, making $35-40 million a year.
But does it get the Phillies any closer to a world championship? Does Mike Trout bring a World Series championship closer?
No, this ain't Trout. It's like Garcia. When the Phillies signed Garcia, they didn't sign Garcia with him going, he's going to hit 25. They were hoping for the Garcia of 3 years ago. That's when the Phillies get Trout, they're not getting the Trout of 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 5. They're getting the Trout of what he is now. And he is not a number 4 bat in the lineup. You're putting a guy in a position where he's bad at 1, 2, 3. I don't think he's bad at 4th at all for the Angels.
No.
He might have.
Bet,
I mean,
yeah, he might have back in his day, but he's been batting like 3 or 5.
Well, that's my point. Like they got Albert Pujols. They've had that kid that had the drug issues from Texas that they signed. The left-hander, the outfielder who had all them issues, really good, but drugs kind of screwed him up. They got the third baseman from Washington that they did. So I mean, the Phillies just gotta. There's still some time. I mean. You know what? Why don't they just do this? Just put Alec Bohm back and forth. Just leave him there. He's the only guy who seems like it produces there no matter what. And so just leave him there. I mean, they're not going to move any of the top 3. So you might as well just go keep the lineup with going down with like Bohm, Garcia, whatever, after Bohm back and forth. It doesn't make a difference. Mattingly, didn't you see tonight's game? What he did? He has Sosa back and forth. What's this tell you? He's Robbie 2.0. Doesn't make a difference.
I don't agree with that, but you're right. The lineup construction. Listen, and you know what? We talk about lineup all the time here, me and you. We always go back and forth about the lineup, and we both have similar, sort of situations that we talk about. I wonder how difficult it is, again, with that misconstructed roster, of how difficult it is to put together a lineup every night.
Well, wait. How difficult? Crawford 1, Turner 2, Harper 3, Schwarber 4, Garcia 5, Marsh 6, Baum 7th, Stott 8th, and whoever 9th. That's
right.
I'm not even an MLB manager.
No, I get that. My point is, we see that, but obviously Don Mattingly sees that. Obviously, everybody in that clubhouse sees how it should be, or what the traditional way would be to do it. But yet, it never gets done. Why? Like, it's not Rob Thompson anymore. It's this analytic stuff, I guess. But if it was that easy, Papernick, it would be done. I really firmly believe there's something else.
It must be in the contracts. It's got to be in their contracts. they can't bat out of the top 3. That I'm telling you, you never see Harper bat below 3. You never see Schwarber bat below. Well, you did last year. You never see Turner out of the top 3. You don't. It's like it's bad. When I say Robbie 2.0, I know the Phillies are winning, but here's the thing. Do you know they're like 4 games out or whatever games out of the wild card? They got the whole Central Division's ahead of them.
Yeah, well,
and the Braves are what 8-9 games ahead of them. I mean, but people will say to me, we can't lose the division at the beginning of the season. Yes, you can. Go talk to the Atlanta Braves.
No, listen, you're right, and I've agreed with you with that. I didn't say they were locked to win the division, but when you start the season off 9-19, and your season's literally hanging in the balance in April, the fact that they're now 2 games above 500, I mean, at least we're back to square one and we can go from here. I hear what you're saying, but I was more interested in, do you know what it would have been like, Papernick, for me to have to come on to this thing and talk about the Phillies on a post-game show for 162 games if they couldn't pull themselves out of that 9-9? Oh my, I would have blown my brains out, man. It would have been, it's from a personal standpoint. And I love baseball. I don't want my baseball season to be over in April. And it was trending that way. So I get what you're saying. I don't believe they're a World Series team. I still don't believe that. I don't believe that they're the best team in the division. I didn't really believe that going into the season. But at least we're back to playing relevant baseball again. And that's all you need. You got to get one of those wild card spots. And then from there, you never know. They're not ready. They're not a World Series team. I 100% agree with you.
Look, it doesn't make a difference whether you win the division or not anymore. It's not like
it doesn't. It's not 1985. No.
But here's the thing. It's not that I don't want to see the Phillies win. I think the Phillies can get to the playoffs. I do. But I'm just trying. Like, I can't get. I just don't want to put my hand on them and hold on to them because of what's happened for the last 3.5 years since after the World Series.
I agree.
I mean,
and that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. And that's
my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
And the philosophy of the lineup, even though they're winning, and I say this all the time, the Phillies will win games no matter who the manager is, with any non-moves or moves. That's how much talent they have. They will just win games because look, I like Mattingly. I do. My problem with Mattingly, what my problem is with the every time you hire somebody who's a bench coach, he always carries a little bit of the manager with him. He always does a little tiny bit. Okay, and then here's the other thing. This is the third Yankee guy.
Well, I mean,
what have they done? What have they done to prove that we need I mean, seriously.
It's the second Yankees player. I mean, Rob Thompson was on their coaching staff. I mean,
well, that's what I'm talking about. And the organization, he was there for a while. He was on that World Series team.
Yeah,
he was there on that World Series team with Joe Girardi when they beat us.
Joe Torre.
Joe, 2009? Was that Torre or was that Girardi?
Well, that was Girardi, but he was there before Girardi. He was with Torre.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he was a bench coach with Torre. That's the thing. I think he became the bench coach.
Staff, though. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But he's been with the Yankee organization for like 20 years. He was there a long time.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. We're going with our third guy from the Yankee, and what's that done? Nothing. I mean, that's just me. I mean, look. Why I say I ain't worried about that right hand bat no more. If the Phillies went and got Paul Skeens, could you see throwing out Wheeler, Skeens, Sanchez, Luzardo, Painter? You can go to a 6-man rotation. Now tell me, who in baseball's Paul Skeens got a 2-something, a low 2 ERA, and they scored no runs for him.
Yeah, nothing. No.
The Phillies could man, you'd have to face them guys. I spread them out so oh my God, that's the whole thing. This lineup has never look, I'm shocked that Harper and Schwarber are hot at the same time, kind of, sort of, hitting home runs and just hitting the ball. But the lineup itself never comes together as one. It never does all together. I don't think really any lineup does. You know what I mean? Maybe it does for a couple weeks. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like that for a whole season where they just click. You know.
It clicks at least for them. Other teams, it seems it clicks. Here, it seems it never clicked. Like I honestly can't sit here and tell you. You know, you get a game here and there, like tonight. Burgeoning on a lineup that clicked because they were able to move the ball around a little bit, but they only scored 5 runs and they almost lost. But I can't really sit here and tell you, Papernick, and be like, yeah, it's working 1 through 8 or 1 through 9. You never say that about the Phillies.
Well, that's it. That's the problem. I mean, with the Phillies, it don't ever click. I mean, and like I said, you rarely see Harper and Schwarber get hot at the same time, and they are kind of hot at the same time. Harper's hitting home runs, Schwarber's on a pace to whatever, but I heard something on my way home from work that really has me nervous. Did you say Garrett Stubbs was looking at first baseman mitts? I mean, this is a guy who's
100% doing that. Yes, he was.
Look, I'd rather see Garrett Stubbs play third base and move Baum to first. Because at least Garrett Stubbs played third base in spring training. Don't know if he's going to do any good, but at least Baum can play first base. I mean,
let me set it up for you. So Baum, I think, got a single in the 8th, bottom of the 8th. The game they were still down by a run. They took Baum out for Stubbs with a pinch runner.
Makes no sense.
Stubbs gets put out at second on a fielder's choice. They pan into the clubhouse, into the dugout, and Bowman Stubbs. First of all, Bowman 6'8", Stubbs about 5'2". They look like really a weird mismatch. They're going through the bin of first baseman's mitts, and Stubbs is trying them on. Now they didn't do it. They ended up putting Harper out at first and burning the DH. But yeah, they were. At least for a couple of seconds, somebody was considering putting him at first.
Well, what is okay? I'm confused with this DH rule. Okay, because I always talk to my buddy about it with Ohtani. Ohtani will pitch, and he's the DH. But when he comes out as a pitcher,
you can't pitch and DH at the same time. If you're going to pitch, he's got to be in the lineup as a pitcher.
Well, that's it. But when he comes out as a pitcher, he's the DH.
No, not in that game. They can't do that. It's either one or the other for the game. They can't make him a DH if he comes out as a pitcher.
Matty, I've seen where he's been in a game.
Listen, but they can list him in the lineup they can list him on the offensive lineup as a DH, and he can pitch defensively.
Okay, well, that's what I'm getting at. That rule has to. That's the rule right there. And look, when the guy comes out, he's got to. Like, if he's got to come out. Harper.
That's what it is. They changed it because of Ohtani. They changed that rule because of Ohtani. Now they can't do that.
So you were telling me Mattingly was thinking about taking Harper
Somebody
out.
was.
Putting Stubbs in. Well, I mean, listen. Look, there ain't too many. Look, I'm going to go right to the head of the snake. Mattingly. He had to make the call. Who else is making the call? Paco? Paco's sitting there going, I got confidence in this guy. Listen, look, if somebody put him on first base and took Harper out of the game.
Well, Harper was out. He was a DH, and Bohm was the first baseman. So Bohm got taken out for the pinch runner of Stubbs. So Bohm was done. He can't come in the game. So somebody else had to come in and play first. There was at least some discussion about putting Stubbs in.
Yeah, but
they
eventually
how does
just Harper switch
the
over?
DH and put Harper in. Harper can enter the game as a first baseman, and then he goes in the lineup. The DH next to his name in the lineup turns to a first base.
See, I don't like that rule. My thing, if you're a DH and you shouldn't be able to just, I don't know, because you're not actually playing. I mean, that's
you are playing. You're in the lineup. And you can move people around in the lineup. It's just that once you move a DH into a position, you burn the DH, and that person who was the DH becomes that position.
Now I got one question. I got one question for you too.
Yeah.
What is Don Mattingly thinking? Like when he goes into a game like this, and he's like, "All right, Schwarber ain't playing. We bump Harper up. We bump Garcia. We'll put so." Is analytics telling him to put Sosa 4 and Harper 2 and Garcia 3?
Yeah,
it can't be analytics. This is look. They're winning games in spite of this. I'm just saying this. I mean, this. That's why this team has talent. It's like like they're just going to win games no matter what. And this is one of them games that's no matter what. I looked at it like he can't run a lineup out like that tomorrow night. And why wasn't Schwarber playing? Why wasn't Schwarber playing?
Sick.
Night off.
He was sick.
Oh please! It's the mysterious headache. He didn't come in the fifth inning to play.
Maybe no. He was out. Maybe he ate a bad was it Panini Brothers sandwich out there in Pittsburgh? Maybe he got a hold of some bad.
I'm telling you, man. Like they but Dombrowski is feeling the heat. I don't think he's going to, like you were saying. I don't think he's going to burn the whole thing down in the minor leagues. I
hope he doesn't. I'm not saying he's not going to do that. I hope he doesn't do it.
I don't think he will, Dombrowski. I think he's going to make a move now. What that
it
move
can't be
is?
An Austin Hayes move. It can't be an Austin Hayes move. It can't be a Harrison Bader move. It has to be somebody, because we need to solve the problem of a right-handed bat. So you might want to go for someone that actually has a contract left.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
no rentals.
All right, that's right there. Contract, no problem. I don't care about the contract. I don't want a 34-year-old guy and 140 million, whatever the hell he's got left over, and no trade clause. No, that's right there. Yeah, see, I tell my boy all the time, I'd be a ruthless GM. I wouldn't care. You could win 5 World Series. I'd walk out with a pink slip. You're done. I have no problem doing it. This guy can't do this, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what other bats are out there. I mean, it's a shame because the guy clogging everything up is having a great year, Schwarber.
Yeah, it goes back to that, doesn't it? Why can't he back cleanup? That's the
somebody. Well, no, I'm talking about mankind. He's clogging up. He's clogging up the whole. He's having a great year, but you can't put him anywhere but DH. He can only play 20 games in the outfield. That's it.
Pete Alonso would have been nice, wouldn't he? Pete Alonso would have been real nice.
Well, that's where I'm going. Well, that's where I'm going. Like, they need to get somebody in here that can play either play the outfield or that has to play the outfield or third base. I mean, because they're not going to move Harper unless Harper says he wants to go to the outfield and they get a first baseman. But I don't want Rook, whatever his name is from Oakland. He's not doing so good.
Rooker?
Yeah, he's not doing so good. I mean, they got to get somebody who's like 27, 28 with a contract that ain't doing so good, that just needs a change of scenery. That's what they need. That's exactly what they. You know what I'm saying? Who has some power, has talent, just having a down year, and they're just looking to move
100%.
maybe because of. That's what they need. I mean, you got go look at the Central Division. That whole division ain't gonna be winning, and they got some talent in that Central Division. Like I said, the Giants, Chapman. I don't know. Chapman's a power hitter. I don't know.
Well, I don't really need I mean, listen, I take that back. I just need a competent right-hand bat. I don't necessarily need another power bat, but a competent right-hand bat. Who bats about 275, drives in about 70 runs a season. That's what I need.
Well,
that's what I need.
I listen. I mean, for if they didn't sign Schwarber, they could probably got Stanton from the Yankees. Yankees probably give him away for him. He's got like a year left on his contract. That'd be perfect.
You're talking about a guy that's got injury problems. I mean, good Lord, Stanton and Trout are sharing the same hospital beds, man.
But here's the difference. Stanton, I get it. I mean, but Stanton last year played real well. I think
he did. He was hurt early, but then he pulled it together and had a great season.
And you won't have to give up any of your top 10, top 20, top 30 prospects for Stanton. I can tell.
The Yankees won't let him just walk away. Listen, Patrick, I cut you off, man. The show's running real late tonight. So,
all right. You have a good night, Matty.
Be back here tomorrow, okay? All right, man. Patrick all night long if I let him go, man. Be here till like 4 a.m, but it's just fine. Tatis would be interesting if he had more than no home runs. Guy hasn't been the same since he got popped for PEDs. Right train of thought, though. Yeah, you could backtrack that even further and say, because allegedly he was taking the PEDs to help him recover faster from that motorcycle accident, right? I mean, that's what he said. Angels are being no hit. Yeah, JT Ginn is he was. I don't know if he's still pitching. Yeah, pitching no right now. Tristan Gray from the Twins. He's 30 and could hold a spot while Miller recovers. Yeah. And you probably come on the cheap. It only costs you another catching prospect or another pitching prospect. Yeah, it's the Ohtani rule. Yes, it is. It is the Ohtani rule. It is. Stubbs is the savior of 2026 season. We may lose our minds. Stubbs might have been Elmo that one day, so there's definitely a chance Stubbs is the savior. Oh, man. Can I imagine if Elmo, could you imagine if Elmo is the savior, what will set Matt B off more? Trace standing ovation or Elmo being the catalyst? Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question because the last thing I want to see is a bunch of Elmos on a stick being dangled around Citizen Bank Park. Yeah, I agree. I could, like Rally Monkey days. I don't need to see that. I do not need to see that. Yeah, that would be a very unsettling for me. It would be very, very unsettling. Christian Walker from the Astros. Here's the thing. Kaepernick said contact some of those teams that are starting to sink, and some of them are now, and Houston's one of them. So they could be an organization that'd be ripe to be able to move off some people. But again, you're now entering the buyer market or the seller's market, right? So Houston's going to drive up the price. Everyone's going to listen. You're not walking away with all your prospects intact. Someone's going to go. Dante Nori, Gage Wood, Miller. If somebody wants to take a chance there, it's going to cost you somebody. And, you're not going to be able to walk unless you're going after a Harrison Bader or a friggin' even Harrison Bader is going to cost you somebody or an Austin Hayes. Other than that, you're going to have to give somebody up. So somebody's not going to be a Philly at the end of the year. I could pretty much guarantee, but it's a matter of, giving up of giving up who that is. Walker's a local guy, is hitting 263 in a Gold Glover. Yeah, he's up there. It's about early 30s, right? Houston and his Padres too, who could be yeah. I mean, again, there are those teams that are now sinking down. Angels are one, Astros are another. Colorado is there. The White Sox are there. The perennials that are there every year. So there are some teams that Dave should be looking at the rosters right now. But if we're going that route, and if you're going to get an impact guy, because that's what we need someone that can come in here. And I don't want to rental because I don't want to be talking about this again in 7 months. I don't want to be talking about, okay, now we got to find another right-handed bat. I need someone who's got some life left on that contract, but that's going to cost you even more in a trade. Oh, he's 35? Oof. I know he's that old. I don't know then. We'll love Adolph. Yeah, another player, you know? That's what I'm saying. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have this conversation anymore about, well, we need a right-hand bat. You know, if you're going to go big and it's going to cost you somebody from the system. Oh, man, I missed all this up here. Sorry about that. Oh, wait, you said this. Oh, come on. Nolan Arenado. Yeah, I mean, he's another player. But again, he's on the cheap. Stop worrying about the Braves. The NL Central will start to fall. We aren't far behind most of them. Listen, I get Papernick. So, and Papernick's feelings are valid because we were so bad, right? Now we've pulled ourselves out of that, but we're back to being what we were. And is that good enough to win a World Series? And so far that hasn't been. So I would imagine that more of that sentiment is going to be felt here as the Phillies get back into relevance. We're going to start we're going to forget about the 9-19 and we're going to start gravitating back towards what we are in 2026. And are we closer to winning a World Series this year than we were last year? And I don't know I don't know the answer to that. I honestly don't. I don't think we are, because it's the same issues. It's the same issues, same circus, different clowns, right? That's what they say. And that's exactly what we're faced with. But now we're at least distancing ourselves from 9-19. And that should be if they can 5-1, 4-2, 6-0 on this homestand, that will probably put the 9-19, in the rear view permanently, and we can move forward. But the question is moving forward going to get us a World Series with this group? Nola's problems, no right-handed bat solutions. Is Bohm going to bat? Bohm and Stott, are they going to be consistent the rest of the year? Bohm, Stott, and Marsh going to be consistent, the rest of the year. Same problems we've had for years now. He mentioned Chapman from San Francisco. I would. But these players were all there in free agency, but we didn't decide to go. I don't know and to Papernick's point too, it's not like Dave Dombrowski was forced into staying with these guys, right? He always says, I love our team. I love our roster. I love our group. We got good players. I think he believes that. If he didn't believe it, we would have definitely moved off of some of these guys already, right? Maybe exception of Bohm because he tipped his hand, but I really believe when Dombrowski says he loves his team. I do. And that's also a problem. This is not good enough. So maybe Dombrowski doesn't feel the same as I, and you agreed with it, Al, that he feels the heat. Maybe he doesn't feel the heat. Maybe he feels that this is the team that is going to win, and doesn't have to do anything with them. Would I rather have a rental for a little cost or a big contract for more cost? I don't want to have to talk about this anymore. I don't want to have to go back into another offseason wanting to find another right-handed bat. Now, mind you, if you look at the 2027 group of free agents, and 2027, obviously, as we already know, is so up in the air what that's going to look like on the labor front. We don't even know what that's going to like. What is that going to look like? But if you take a look at the pending third baseman free agents, because Bohm is a free agent, Miller's wherever he's at, and then we have no third baseman. Basically, we have no third baseman in 2027. And the last thing I want to have happen is to get strong-armed and take hostage by Alec Bohm. Because the pending group of 2027 third baseman free agents is not necessarily Brooks Robinson and Mike Schmidt. There's really not much there. So the question of a right-handed third baseman may not seem necessarily something that's, burning right now. It's definitely a question, right? A right-handed bat and a possible third baseman replacement for Bohm. It's out there, but it's not burning like the sun. But if you look at the 2027 group of third basemen that are free agents, it's not friggin', it ain't like, oh no. I mean, Anthony Rendon is like top of the list. And I didn't even think he was in baseball anymore. So that to me also drives what I would do if I was Dombrowski in the this season. I want to try to find a right-handed hitting third baseman with at least one more year left on his deal. Because I don't have an answer for next year at that spot, because Aiden Miller is wherever he's at, doing whatever he's doing. And that puts the plans of the Phillies a little bit sidetracked. Yeah, see? And that's what I don't want. I do not want Alec Bohm holding this team and this city hostage. And that has to, I think, be factored into whatever deals we make with whomever we make them with. Or is Otto Kemp the third baseman of at least 2027? So this problem goes beyond this year. It's starting now, but it has to be addressed this season, because going into next year, it's not looking pretty good if they don't want to trade for somebody, because they may have to trade for somebody anyway. The question is it better to trade in the offseason or in season? Obviously, offseason, in season, everything is driven up, but it's a question that's not going to disappear. And it's a question that is until they decide what they're going to do with third base. And God, is it possible they're thinking about re-signing Alec Bohm? Is it possible that Alec Bohm could be here for another 5 years? Oh my God. Ugh. Honestly, is that possible? I want someone to help me out. Is that possible? Yeah, I saw it was pretty funny. Well, I had to play the song because you lumped me in. My boy, Spike Eskins. Spike Eskins is not my boy. So Tristan Gray is our best option. A 30-year-old right-handed third baseman from a team of the Twins that's, not necessarily one of the, maybe he is. This changes things for Dave. It does. It changes. Aiden Miller is now holding the Phillies hostage. But these are all conversations that just can't be shooed away, and neither can the Mike Trout thing. Listen, but for Mike Trout, and yes, I get it. He is. Am I still there? Oh, am I here? He's not. He is not the Mike Trout of 5 years ago. No, but he is healthy. He is healthy, and he will put butts in the seats. I guarantee you that. I don't think dismissing it completely. Again, I'm not in favor of it. Would I wake up tomorrow and be like, oh my God, this is the worst move ever? No. I'd be intrigued by it. You can't possibly say you would not be intrigued by having Mike Trout on this baseball team. And I think that it's something that probably will grow legs the closer we get to the trade deadline. And if Trout stays healthy, it could grow legs. I wouldn't think Bohm gets a 5-year, maybe a 2 or 3 year deal, but Bohm might want a 5-year deal, and Bohm might see a landscape out there where he can get a 5-year deal. When was the last time agents played fair? Bo Bichette. And what about Bo Bichette? Forget, man, he's got an opt out. Make a deal and bring him here. I will be okay. You give me Bo Bichette. I know he's batting like 150, but I'd take him in a heartbeat. I would take Bo Bichette right now. I think he's got a 150 OPS right now, but only a matter of I understand. I totally get that. No one's taking Bohm for 5 years. Can't say that, man. Have you seen the free agent class of 2025 or 7? There's not too many people on that list. Now, I don't obviously know the needs of teams at third base. I can't say that that's not going to happen. Right? No one can say. I mean, I didn't think that they could. Most of the contracts in sports you could not look at that way. 36 million a boat. Yeah, the hell with it, man. The hell with it. We already lost our draft pick. Who cares? I just want Bohm gone. Bohms and Stubbs are the same thing. Just can't get rid of them. Don't know what's going on here, man. But listen, we're going to wrap it up, man. I went over 2 hours tonight. Let's get quality entertainment here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. 2 hours of MattyB. And I don't know what's going on my internet. But tomorrow we'll be back for our final show of the week. And then the rest of the stuff that's happening. Real quick, this is what's going on for the rest of the week before the internet completely craps out on me. There you go. Tomorrow you'll have the Gridiron Weekly, the Phillies Reds postgame. Big Al will be on the call tomorrow night for that. And then me at the final word at 10 o'clock. So make sure you're here and we'll continue this conversation because this ain't going away. As the Phillies will go look for 6 in a row and another series win. Who's going tomorrow? Anybody have that information for me offhand? I don't even know. Who's going tomorrow for the Phillies? Is it Lazardo? Yeah, Lazardo's going, right? Yeah, I think Lazardo's turn. So we'll see what the Phillies could do against the Reds tomorrow. Make sure you guys are checking back here regularly for all the great stuff that we're putting out. I hope you have a great rest of your night, a great Tuesday. And we'll talk tomorrow on the multiple platforms that will be in the multiple shows that we'll be showing. So until then, you guys have a great night, good evening, good night, and goodbye.